From the time I played God in the movies, people seem to confuse me with him. Maybe it's something about my voice. Hi there. Would you please open the gate and let me in? Please let me in. Maybe it's the way I look.
Dios mío.
Or maybe it's the way I dress.
Oh my God.
Well, believe me, folks, I am not God. Far from it. Except in my own home, where I can control the weather. Almost like God himself.
The best air conditioner we have ever created. Tadiran Supreme for total weather control.
Tadiran, controlling the weather.
So this is a great ad, and right away we get to see one of the greatest and most beloved actors of all time, Morgan Freeman. At first, we get to see how similar he looks and sounds like God, but ultimately the ad ends with Morgan Freeman saying that he's not God, but he does have godlike abilities because he's able to control the weather with his Tadiran Supreme AC unit, and that's what's being advertised here. Now, I chose this ad because I'm a big Morgan Freeman fan, and I think he's hilarious. This ad relates to class, as we're now all aware of the different persuasion tactics that are used in advertisements today, and I think this will help us become more aware of those. So moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the three main tactics of persuasion that I saw in this ad. The first being humorous appeals. According to Berger 2011, there are over 45 different types of humor. And many of these types of humor can be used to help influence and gain an audience's attention and liking. What a great idea when advertising something, right? So in the case of this commercial, Morgan Freeman uses a form of humor known as self-disparaging humor, where the humor in the commercial is pointed directly at himself. Humor is a great tactic when it comes to persuasion, and I think Morgan Freeman nailed it here. Now, the second tactic of persuasion that I wanted to analyze in this ad is the tactic called ultimate terms. According to Chapter 7, Gass and Sider believe that these ultimate terms have the ability to resonate with larger groups and be a powerful persuasive tool. The main ultimate term that Morgan Freeman uses is the term God. And most people recognize this term, and their ears perk up when they hear this term. It'd be hard to prove that anyone who listens to this commercial didn't pay closer attention after hearing the term God over and over, and that's why they use it here in this ad. Now, the final tactic of persuasion that I wanted to analyze in this ad is called the sleeper effect. According to Comm163 and Alberson 2004, the sleeper effect suggests that if the circumstances are right, a delayed impact of a message can be more powerful than an initial impact. I believe this is so true and blatantly obvious in this commercial. Tadiran knows that everyone loves Morgan Freeman, and they also know that humor is a great way to grab an audience's attention. They then keep that attention by using the ultimate terms like God, and then they use the sleeper effect at the end to introduce their product. They know that nobody wants to watch a minute commercial about an AC unit, so they created a funny commercial with Morgan Freeman and used the sleeper effect and threw in their product at the end. And this is obvious as they only talk about the AC unit for the last 15 seconds of the commercial. To show my comprehension and understanding of Chapter 14, I wanted to share a key element of visual persuasion, and that element would have to be viewer identification. Gass and Sider say in Chapter 14 that some people may idolize certain actors and actresses, and I think it's fair to say that some people even idolize Morgan Freeman. Knowing some viewers are going to recognize and some viewers even idolize Morgan Freeman is why Tadiran used him in this commercial. They wanted to use a famous and affectionate actor who's very common and well known. Now, lastly, I want to talk about some of the ethics that are involved in this commercial. And of course, it would be completely unethical for Morgan Freeman to tell the audience that he's God himself. So he doesn't say that, and he clears it up right away. But I believe that one of the most important parts of ethics is the ethics that are in the visual persuasion. I shared in Chapter 14 how we learned about viewer identification and how it can be important when it comes to visual persuasion. But we also learned in Chapter 16, a little later on, that not all visual persuasion is ethical, because of course images and movie scenes can be misleading. And this is proven in the ad, as Morgan Freeman has shown how he can sound, look, and how he acts like God. But as Gas Insider say in chapter 16, don't worry, because persuasion is not inherently unethical and can be used to promote pro-social interests and causes, just like this commercial may have helped some people here in Fresno stay cool through these terribly hot summers.